Anna, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. It's a real pleasure to have you here with us in London. Maybe you could just kick off with a brief introduction to this incredible film. What can audiences expect when they watch it?
Nanny is a psychological thriller. It's about a young mother who moves to New York from Senegal to build a better life for herself and, more importantly, for her son. And in the process of trying to work and save money to bring him over, she experiences incredible obstacles. There are many horror elements in it, but ultimately it's a story about a mother who loves her son and is trying to survive in a really foreign space.
And of course, it's a really crucial subject matter, but it's done in such a unique way, such a fresh story with a first-time director. What was the appeal for you?
It's a deeply personal story to me. I'm an immigrant. My mother was an immigrant. She brought me from Senegal to Houston when I was very young for the same reasons Aisha wants to bring her son over. I'm very close to my mother. I'm fiercely protective of my mother, and so I've always wanted to tell her story. She's an intelligent woman. She's a brilliant woman, and like many immigrants and many mothers and fathers, courageous. And I've always just wanted to tell a story like this about the immigrant experience.
And what was it like being on set? What was she like as a director, but and also working with Michelle, of course?
Michelle Monaghan, man, she's one of the loves of my life. I learned so much watching her. I learned so much working with her in each scene. And Nikyatu Jusu is a force. She's a force to be reckoned with. She's a fiercely original, captivating filmmaker. I was aware of her 2 years ago from a short that she did and had been like enthralled about her ever since. And so this was a dream come true to be able to create something with her.
And it feels like that, you know, like a lot of female directors, female writers are kind of venturing into these different genre spaces. Do you think there's just something about these different genres that make the female experience interesting to explore?
Yeah, I think it gives us a way to explore a lot of the social issues we deal with, but in a genre, in a space that people aren't used to watching and learning something from. So it's a way for us to sneak in a lot of social commentary and a lot of important issues in a really exciting genre. Yeah.
What do you hope people take away from it? And do you think that there's more space opening up for people of color to be on screen, female storytellers to have their stories told?
Absolutely. I think the more that we tell our stories, the more people relate to it, the more it expands the opportunity for others to do the same thing. And the more interest it garners from people who otherwise aren't used to watching stories about us. And I feel people will take from this a greater empathy within themselves. And it'll probably hold up a mirror to a lot of people, and they can question a lot about the places that they stand in society and the ways they help to perpetuate certain systems. And yeah, but ultimately it's a story that I think inspires deep empathy. Well, it's a deeply personal story to me, as it is to Nikyatu as well. It's an immigrant story. I'm an immigrant. It's a story about motherhood. My mother left Senegal to Houston, and she did so to build a better life for me. And there were so many parallels to my mother's story and to Aisha's story. So it's just deeply personal to me, very emotional to me. And I think it's an important story to tell where you haven't seen these women or these individuals focused on film or television. So I just really meditated on what it meant to feel alien and what it meant to feel very lonely in spaces that are foreign to you and have to learn how to survive them. And also what it meant to long after someone you love, but that you had to leave in order to hopefully build a better life. So, I don't know. I think it loves me. I think it's really attracted to me. I don't know why, but I'm here for it. I just want to tell stories about nuanced characters, about characters, again, that we're not used to seeing on screen, and for people that look like me and who can in some way relate to these characters' struggles to be able to see themselves. So it's so nice because when you do stuff that means a lot to you, you don't know how the rest of the world will receive it. You don't know if they'll see themselves in it and connect to it. And so it's validating, it's humbling, it's exciting for me, it's like being able to witness the world's heart just expand when they connect to these characters. Ooh. I know people say this all the time, but it really is our strongest season yet. Between like the Lex Luthor and the love that ensues between a couple that many people are waiting to see a relationship like that happen with. It's an exciting season. It's a really, really strong, complete whiplash. And I went directly from it. I went directly from wrapping season 3 of Titans into Nanny, which could not be more different. But that's why I do what I do, and yeah, it's an exciting challenge. To me, being a storyteller is essentially an opportunity to connect people. And with this film specifically, I hope that Black women, immigrant women, mothers feel seen, feel represented. It's a story that lays its gaze on a character we're not used to laying gaze on. And she's nuanced, and she's complex, and she's layered, and she's devastating and joyous and in pain and in longing. And so I hope that this story develops a greater empathy in people, and I think that's important, and that's what's important to me in storytelling. Michelle Monaghan is a star. I learned so much from her. She's one of the most talented, skilled, professional, phenomenal actors I've ever worked with, and it was a real treat to be able to share space with her. Amy and Aisha are, in a lot of ways, mirrors to each other. They're both mothers. They're both navigating motherhood in different ways, and it was really a fascinating thing to be able to explore the different ways in which they do that in this. Yeah, I had been longing to do something that was different from Titans, because I've been on it now for four seasons, and by the time I was offered Nanny, had been on it for 3 years, and so I was really longing to do something more grounded, something more personal to me. But ultimately, you know, both Corey and Aisha are just women navigating the world around them and doing the best that they can, and they are related in some ways. I think they're both superheroes, to be honest, but yeah, it was exciting to be able to do something very different, and I hope the rest of my career reflects all types of roles, really. Oh, Blackfire, yeah, Blackfire was huge for us in season 3. We don't see her in season 4, but she's definitely left her mark and traumatized us all, and so we feel the remnants of her presence from season 3, but she was fantastic, and it was a great experience, yeah.